Welcome to Plymouth Ice Arena. We are privileged today to have the Norwegian U18 national team coaches running the practice for Armstrong Peewees. We have the head coach, Robert Johansson, who's from Sweden, who'll tell you a little bit about the national team.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, John. We are a team from Norway. Of course, it's a little small country about ice hockey, but we have the opportunity to go over here and play a few exhibition games and a tournament, and we like it a lot.
Today they are going to run a European-style practice for the Peewees at Armstrong, and they'll have a chance to see how the Europeans train. We find that the Europeans are very good at technique. Can you tell a little bit about the practice today, Robert?
First of all, we have our goalie coach here. He shall take care of the goalies. And we have my second coach, assistant coach Espen, who shall have the most of the practice with the boys. Of course, he starts with some warm-ups and some power skating drills and after that we have some small area games and some technique skills for the boys.
The format of the practice that the Norwegian National team set up will start with technical skating. After technical skating, we'll break the team up into 3 groups. Goalies will be at one end, the forwards in the center, and the defense at the other end. After the groups are broken up into 3, they'll work on some skill drills and some passing drills, and end the practice with a little shootout. Andre played in the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. He's working on a number of different goalie exercises with Jacob and Reese from our team. Very similar to drills that the goalies might do with our coaches, a few small differences, but Andre works with some of the top goalies in Norway, so we're fortunate to be able to have him give some instruction, and I know the goalies appreciated having a different voice, and it's sort of fun having a goalie of that stature working with you. Espen from the Norwegian National team is working with our players today on technical skating. One thing the Norwegians do, and a lot of the Europeans, is they spend a lot of time on technical skating, really under speed, in which they spend a lot of attention to detail, making sure the kids keep a bend in their knee, have a good knee bend and balance on their edges. Espen told me prior to the practice that he is a big believer that technique is the soul of talent, which is pretty telling in their style of teaching. As you can see, we've got players in both corners. They're working on both their edges, making sure they have a good knee bend, keeping their rear end down and their backs as straight as possible. We don't spend enough time on that, in my opinion, here in the States. Espen will run them through a number of drills, both forward and backwards. They will work on their outside edges, inside edges, backward stride, and then there's a backward skating balance drill that they do that I particularly liked. The player stepping one foot over the other and having a balance on that outside edge. In addition to the technical skating, there's a lot of agility skating that we do a lot of, but the Euros do as well. So you'll see kids doing what we call shoot the duck, forward and backwards. Working on mohawks is when they turn the heels in and spin in a circle. All of that is for coordination, agility, and again, working on their edges. We probably spent a good 25 minutes working on technical and agility skating. It's one of those things that it's very easy to skip during the course of practice, but if you're disciplined and take time for it, you'll see the dividends as the season progresses. What you'll see is the defense working on a number of skating patterns that they do that'll happen many times during the course of a game. Getting passes from the corner, having to pull the puck and skate inward towards the center of the ice, transitioning forwards and backward, taking shots from different positions. The drill I particularly liked was the last one that they worked with the defenders, in which you had 2 defenders below the goal line and 2 out on the offensive blue line. The forwards on the offensive blue line worked on moving the puck back and forth and moving from one board to the center. The defensemen below the goal line worked on passing back and forth as they might do in a game. In the center of ice, the forwards did a number of variations. There were cones put in the middle, and we had half the forwards on one side in the neutral zone and the other on the other half. And they worked on 2 or 3 different things. First, skating around, passing the puck to each other. Then they passed to a partner. Then they were playing keep away, where they had 2 players with the puck and the other one's trying to take the puck away. And what I liked about this is they were having to do this in small space, and there was a number of variations that you built on from something very simple, and I thought it was a nice way to break down the usage of the ice. In this area, they're having the players do a number of different things, making quick passes to each other, then picking partners and passing to that partner while moving and having to avoid other people. They start playing keep away, where 2 players will have the puck, others will try to take it, and then they'll take where you'll have a couple players skating and trying to protect the puck. So a number of different variations that allow you to work on a number of things in very small space. What I like about the way that this is organized is that the kids are always moving. We have 9 forwards on our team, and so we have 5 on one side and 4 on the other, and they're constantly moving. There are a lot of puck touches. They're having to pass in small space. They're having to make moves, protect the puck. So they're doing all kinds of different tactical and skill things in small space, and rarely is there anyone that's not moving or engaged during this whole time. Espen is laying out the next drill, in which in center ice there are a number of toilet plungers. Yes, they're toilet plungers that are used instead of cones, in which the players have to skate through the cones, first forward, then transition backwards, and do the same back and forth through the cones going backwards. The drill will end with the players then going in and taking a shot, and so it's incorporated a number of skills in one drill. And the multi-skills in the drill allows for efficient use of time, and it gives the players multiple things to think about. And that's what I love about this drill. The Norwegian National team had a real clever flow drill. We don't quite execute it that well yet, but it involves a player making 5 or 6 passes and receiving 2 or 3 and ending with a shot. What I like about this drill is that 5 or 6 players are engaged each segment as a player goes through, and our players are forced to, while moving, making good passes and receiving passes. It's hard for our players, as you can see, and they've gotten far better at this, in making 4 passes and receiving 3 good passes in a row. But what I like about this is it challenges our players, and each player went through this drill about 3 times, which means they had to execute 21 times, either making a pass or receiving a pass. We finished practice with breakaways, and what the Norwegian National team encouraged was for the players to be very creative and allow them to try whatever move they wanted to have some fun in doing that and thinking outside the box. The players, I found, got very engaged because instead of being told exactly what they had to do, they could take ownership and control and get as creative and as crazy as they wanted, and they really enjoyed the freedom of doing that.
Well, Robert, we want to really thank you for coming out and being with the boys and taking your precious time to teach our kids a little bit about your style. You know, it's really the world is a big hockey family, and there isn't a right or wrong. We just have different traditions, and it's good to compare, and we all become better when we do that. So thank you for coming today.